Hey guys, hello. How are you? Okay, how are you guys? Hello, toxic Aristotle. How are you? Hello, Vinit. Hello, Adi Rahman. Hello, can't pronounce your name. Sorry, but hi. Yes. Hello, Adam. Yes. How are you? And hi. Okay, yeah. So today we are going to do the Elysium spaceship. Yes, spaceship city or space city, I think. Let me see. So I saw this again. Let me just paste the link to these amazing works. There isn't any artist name give credit, but this look amazing. I saw this and I thought reminded me of the Elysium station space city or something. So I thought we could try something like this. And I don't think it's that difficult to make. We'll see. Yeah, so I guess we can just jump right in. But before we do that, let's do some quick promos. So yeah, Human Generator is an amazing add-on, which is simply a library of 3D characters that are well made. They are made by Oliver J. Post and Alexander Lasko. I'm sorry, pronounce for it. Yeah, anyway, so the characters come with rigs. They are already rigged. They are posed, rigged. They have textures. They have hair. Basically clothed, and just you can customize the faces to make them your own. And it's a very, very powerful tool, very, very popular. So if you haven't got it yet, I would recommend you get it. It comes with clothes, pose library, different materials for the clothes. You can adjust the outfit, can customize the color, the characters, and everything. If you want to get it, link is provided in the chat. Then there is also Spider-Fi, which is a Boyd system, basically a system that allows you to create a swarm of animals, say birds, wasps, whatever you can think of. You can see they even have some detailed 3D assets of bugs, birds, butterflies, any type of insects that you can turn into a swarm. This add-on will handle that for you. You can see how their add-on was integrated into this image. It basically looks super realistic, and yeah. So if you want to get this add-on, link is provided in the chat as well. And then finally we have Simply Cloth, which is an add-on that lets you dress up your characters. It's a library of clothes, as you can see them here, plenty of them, and you can use it to dress up your character. With all that, let's jump into today's topic of creating the Elysium spaceship. So I've been trying this out and seeing different ways of approaching a project like this, and yeah, let's see. So let me create a new project. I'll call this Sky City, no, Space City, like that. Space City. Okay, so first thing we want to do is set up the camera where we want the camera to be. Like I said, I've been experimenting before I did this. I tried this. So we are going to start with a plane like this, say something like that. Apply the scale and give it a few subdivisions like that. Now the next thing you want to do is use the simple deform, because we want to create an arc. I think this was the arc city, so something like this. You can just extrude and do whatever, but I think the best way to do this is just use the simple deform modifier, and you can get an empty like this. Let me turn on random colors. Shade smooth. Yeah, so have an empty to control the bend, and we want this to be set to bend, and the origin should be this object. Now if we rotate this, you can see we get the arc, but it's in the wrong direction. So I'm going to rotate this again on the Z 90 degrees. So we have that. So if we have an array in the Y direction, we basically have something like that. We have the arc, we can increase the angle if we want. And then we also want this to go like this. So let's do that. We just need another simple deform modifier. How are you guys, by the way? Well, Space Colony, I have been waiting to model those. Nice. So this should be a good step-by-step tutorial. So yeah, we want that arc. Again, we can use a simple deform modifier. Bend. This time, let's just duplicate this empty because we need another one to control the bend. So I'll select this. Clear the rotation first. Let me see if I turn off the array for a bit. So if I rotate this 90 degrees on the Y or on the X, yeah, you can see we have the arc, but it's going the wrong direction. So let me do, guess it's going in the right direction. You can move this to control the positioning of the arc like that. And now we can bring in our array like that, and now you can see. Now we just have to bring the camera closer. Okay. Like that. And maybe like that. Go back to the array. Increase the count. You can also rotate. Let me see. Rotate this to make the curve more strong, or just increase the rotation angle like that. Okay. If you want, if you duplicate this mesh and move it on the x-axis, you see you can basically create another enclosure this side, and maybe we can even mirror this on the y-axis, but we can select this. I need this to be now let me just add another empty for the mirror. This time let me use a cube instead of using, because I might need to move these around. Let me see, why is this? Okay, so about there. Doesn't completely touch. I'm not too bothered by that. The arch also kind of closes up here, so I guess we can scale this. You know, we are getting ahead of ourselves. Let's first just let things like that and continue from work. Hello, Kapil. Glad to see you. I'll start. No, I started about 5 hours before my usual time. Yeah, it's not that early though. So, anyway, how have you been? Have you done your morning jog? Okay. Now let's make this interesting. I guess we can start by setting up some lighting. I'm thinking we should use cycles, the noise. Of course, the sky is going to be yeah, the sky should be black, but I still want to use the sky texture, and because it gives me a lot of control. So let me rotate this 45 degrees, and the elevation 25. Let's try 90. But the background should be dark, and the way we're going to make the background dark, I think we can just use a plane in the background. Just use a texture, noise texture. So let's do a convert car ramp. Yeah, the sky has to be, we should just have stars in the background. Stars like that. Okay, we can give them some color by simply just using a color color mix, and just use this and use this as a factor. Yeah. Okay, let's start adding details to this. So, I'm thinking I'm going to commit to this shape. Maybe have this somewhere there. Yeah, we need to commit to this shape, so I'm going to Shift D, and I just have this in the backup, and just apply all of these. Thank you, not yet, was about to start. I see. Hello, learning tree, how are you? Okay, so let's make a lake or a river, because I'm seeing a river in almost all of these. Maybe before even we do that, let's get some grass. So I'm going to use my texture folder, set some grass, PBR. I want the entire plane to have a grass material. Like that. And then we should have a river. Let me first make sure that I don't have. Okay, we should have a river around. This should be our river. And we just need to push this in. I think we can round off these corners a bit. Maybe we can also use box projection for the UV map. Have these all use box. Then we need our river, so I'm just going to grab this. Shift D. Actually, I just need this base, Shift D, and P to separate it into its own object, and then extrude along the edges. Auto smooth. These edges should be sharp, Ctrl E, mark sharp, and then auto smooth. Okay. Let's grab a water material. Let's just create one water. Let me see if I have water here. Now, water texture. I prefer. Okay, we have some water. Let's see. Can you teach how to fix those repeated patterns? The repeated patterns, they are going to be overlapped with other objects, so I'm not worried about that. I think this water has to be a bit dark. Okay, now let's start adding some details like building. Another thing I want to do is maybe, because our shape is too curved in some areas, so I'm going to grab this. Actually, let me first hide this, select this edge loop, turn on proportional editing, make sure I set this to connected. Make this a little wider. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Anime City scene looks amazing, brother. Thank you, thank you. I am extremely impressed. I'm extremely that you are tackling bigger and bigger projects now. Yeah, I just like to challenge myself. Okay, so let's do some trees. Because we're going to have a lot of vegetation, we want to fake trees like this. You can see they used very, very little polygons geometry. So let's try doing the same. I'm going to go to my texture. Yeah, I really love challenging myself. There's no point. You can't learn by just limiting what you do. So restricting yourself to simple stuff. I love challenging myself. Okay, we want to create some trees. I have this image. It's a fake PNG, but let's turn it into a nice tree. So let me first isolate it for a second, and let's do a car ramp here. How can I start to build a library, an asset library? Do you just add the assets I downloaded for the current project, and slowly I'll be, you can just, if you can either make your own models or just download them from somewhere and slowly build up your library. That's what I did. I made the models myself, and slowly my library increased. Every project I work on, I make sure to save the assets. Okay, why did Blender crash? So this should be our alpha, this should be our color. But now I'm going to use a math node here, turn this to clip or sailing. Yeah, like that. We need to invert this, and we should have a branch now. Of a clip. So this is one branch, Shift D. So actually this could work as, let me see if we can push it further. The city you did yesterday was amazing. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we like to challenge ourselves here. So that's one tree or one tree branch. So let's create a tree here using the skin modifier. Sure, most of you already know how to do this, so I'm not going to explain too much, because we do have quite a lot. Okay, and we can add subdivisions to this. Set this to 1, 1. Apply the skin. Apply this. I have a tree back, I think. Yeah, this. Import texture. Just going to use this as the roughness. Just do a cube projection to this. Cube projection. Okay, we need this to have less vertices, and then we can grab this and instance it over the tree. Instance particle system here, and we just need this up here. Just a simple way to create some trees. Vertex group, assign. How do you save them? Do you have different folders for different textures and models, or is everything in the same folder? For the models, no, my asset manager, my asset library add-on just handles that. I don't have to really worry about where I'm saving the projects. The asset library just remembers that. My asset library. I know the Blender asset library, you have to do a lot of things to get the library working. That's why you see I use mine very often. So if I make this asset, actually I'm going to show you here in a moment after I'm done with this. Let me first show you here. Object. Let's go to the vertex group. Okay. Okay, we need this tree to kind of have a lot of these branches. Yeah, we can have that as our tree. Like that, but we need to make instances real, and just join this to this mesh and just remove the particle system. So this is a single mesh now. This is a single tree, and we can start instancing this. Yeah, so we have things. One other thing I want to do is add some volume objects. Just let's do a shader principal volume. Hello, Malene Basutra. How are you? And how is India? Okay, let's do. Have something like, but okay. Okay, let's start adding these trees everywhere. We're going to use the same trick we used yesterday of instancing the trees using geometry nodes. So let's go to geometry nodes. Geometry nodes here. Where is that? Geometry nodes. Don't you get worried that someone would zoom in on your artwork and see like not that much detail or something? Like I always feel like I have to make everything super detailed, even if they are far. Well, I'm not worried. It doesn't worry me any, because I'm not really, I don't know how to put it. Yeah, it doesn't worry me. Yeah, I was trying to, yeah, so let's add a curve because we want to instance our trees using geometry nodes, and we're going to draw lines. Make sure that you set this to surface. Are we going to be able to draw directly onto our planes. Like that, and that should be the area where we have those trees. So I'm going to come here. Let me change this to the outliner. Pin this, grab our tree, which is this, bring it into geometry nodes, and now what we want to do is instance points, curve to points. So we have a lot of points where we're going to instance our trees. Great. Hello, player game. How are you? How are you? Well, that is a really cool way to make an easy tree. Yeah, we want a low poly. That's why you see I have some good trees in my own add-on, but yeah, this is, we want to use low poly. So we have the instances. Now we want to convert those instances into objects. So we want to instance on those points, and then the instance is going to be the object, the tree object. Now we can scale this down, but they're facing the wrong direction, so I can use the rotate. You know what? To make this easy for you to see, I'm just going to use a mesh primitive, a cone primitive for the instance, like that, and you can see how they are rotated. I want them to face to up here, to look up. So I'm going to add rotate, align Euler to rotate to vector. We want to use the normal. And control the rotation of these guys. With that direction. So and expose this value. So just going to do, so instead of this, we can now use this, scale this. Let me make sure that the rotation of this is applied, and my tree is tall enough for me to see these branches. Hello, PSCC, how are you? You're my big fan. Thank you. Yeah, so you can see how our trees are pointing towards the center, because that's what you would expect things to be. And now that we have that set up, we can play with the scale. We don't want all the trees to have the same scale, so we need to first expose a few things. I want to be able to control the rotation, so I'm going to get a combine XY, just match the rotation here, and expose this value. That's going to be our rotation. Hello, ED Gaming India, how are you? Let me first see some of the comments. Well, that is really cool way of making trees. Good to see you, Gutam Kumar. How are you? Hello, Gutam Kumar. Okay, so yeah, let's see. I want to randomize the scale. So let me get an input value. Oh, yeah. We can do another combined value here. And just have a random scale here, random value. I want the maximum to be this here, 0.130, and the minimum can be that. So if I set this for everything like this, I can play with the seed and I just get a varied scale. And another thing I could do, I can also bring this value, multiply it, multiply it with, or add it to this. Let me name my node groups here. So this is rotation, and this is scale. Okay, I think that should be it. Can have some really small trees. They should be multiplied. Let's see how this looks. Okay. I think I'm going to go in here, make these branches a bit thick, hide this tree. And now we can start drawing the trees. So first thing I need to have is a line of trees on this, around a line of trees here. So let me duplicate this edge, convert it into a curve, and copy the modifiers, this geometry node setup we have, and paste it onto this. Actually, I can just do Ctrl L, link modifiers, copy modifiers, and I can see we can scale up the trees and change the rotation of the trees. Another thing I need is this count, so I can increase the number of trees on here. Yeah. Then we need to be able to control the distribution of some of these trees, and also the distribution. We can also have a big forest like this. I'm just going to have a plane, subdivide it like this, give it a hair system. We need about 200 trees. Change this to object and select our tree as the object. Down on advanced. For the rotation, we can use normal or object X, yeah, something like that. We can reduce the scale, randomize the scale. Yeah, so we have a bunch of trees that we can move around, and we can add a shrink wrap modifier and select this surface as the shrink wrap. Make sure this is above. Get rid of the instance or the mesh so we don't see it. So we have this now. We can move it anywhere, shape it in any way, maybe turn on proportional editing. So we can have a forest, we can draw. Yeah, thank you for subscribing. I'm just going to have a few different areas. Let's see how this looks. Okay, the trees on this one look too big. Okay, I think we can reduce this to 150. Yeah, so we need more of this. Let me first pause. We can duplicate this, have another forest up here. Shift D. Just let me first remove this fog. So just have other just have to get the right projection of this. Like that. Oh, one thing we could do to make this much easier. What's your account name on ArtStation? It's Top Channel 1-on-1, but I rarely post there. We can add shrink wrap as well to this. Where is that? Shrink wrap. Select this as the target. That makes it much easier for us to move things around. So, hello Vinod Kumar, how are you? Let's see how this looks now. You can see that we are getting there slowly by slowly. Though the trees on this side look a bit way bigger than I want. Yeah. Okay, so we have the trees. Let's start adding some structure to this. Let's add some roads. This can be a road. This can be a road. This can be a road. So let's create a new material, road material. So shader. Now, before we do that, let's just let me grab this plane. Let's first add some buildings on here before. Yeah. So let's make a building. Oh, I think I do have some buildings. But I want, thank you for subscribing. Have Tang and all Nani, thank you for subscribing as well. So let me look through my buildings. I want very low poly buildings. I like this. Add that to scene. And I think we can have some variation of this. And maybe this. By the way, if you want to get these buildings, they are part of my Patreon pack. If you're a patron, you can get them. I want very, very simple buildings. Maybe even this. This one is too much. Maybe this. Okay. With this, we can set up a collection. Call this buildings. Scale them down. And call this buildings. We're just going to replace the trees with the buildings collection. Like that. Yeah. So let's see how they look. No results. My art station. Oh, maybe it's mouse VFX. I don't remember. It could be. If I can spell. My. Yeah, I don't remember really. But I'll check and see. Let's randomize. Can we randomize the rotation? No. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so those are our buildings. And for this one, we might want to show the plane. Let me subdivide this further. And I want it to use a concrete material. So I'll go to my asset library, search for concrete. Let me use this. Assign that. Like that. Now I can just duplicate this, move it around. Let me make sure that the shrink wrap is not set to nearest, but project. You can have the buildings, the particle system on all the buildings at once, but I just prefer hand placing them like this so I can make streets much easily. And perhaps these buildings are too tall. Let me go back to the building collection. Hello, Fleet. World UK. How are you? Glad to see you. Want the buildings to be shorter. Yeah, something like that. Now we might need more forests. So I'm just going to duplicate this. Make sure this is set to normal or project. Bring back our volume. Now I think we just have to improve. I'm good. Yesterday work you did were superb. Thank you. It seems a lot of you liked yesterday's work, which is, yeah, I'm very proud of that. Thank you. Okay, I think we are starting to look like a city, which is great. We just need, I think, more buildings up here. So might want or if you want to make your life easier, we already have a mesh here. You can select parts of this mesh. Maybe let's say we want this whole block to be a city. Just shift D and now it's then just link material, copy modifiers, and also copy link materials. The issue then would be the rotation. Okay, it doesn't seem to work as I expected it. And the snapping under constraints, I'm going to have this set to project so that it doesn't snap. Yeah, now it's much easier to align things. Can have these we need to do the same for this side. It's pretty brilliant, but I can't even draw a donut. You'll get there, you get there. All you need is time. A time with practice gets you nearly anywhere. Okay, why is the projection of these off? It's this. Let me see. If I grab a building from this side, just move it here, clear rotation. I want to rotate. Normal. Rotate this by the normal, and now the issue is that I can't really have these. The buildings are facing the wrong direction. Let me look at my instance here. Rotate individual origins. X, Y. And go back to the particle system. I want this to point directly up, so I need to first get the rotation of these right. That's not it. You know what? Let me just. Same problem with these trees. They have the wrong rotation. But the trees on this side look okay. It's when this side, it's this side that has an issue. We can come back to that later. Let's first add a few things that will make this look like this. Let's add this. I don't know what this is, but let's add it. We can create. Just going to grab. Hey, Zan, from hi, what's up? Hello, and Goiko, how are you? It's this sort of stuff that frustrates me with GROnodes. Do you mean GeoNodes? Okay. Now I think we can come back to this and try geometry nodes to get the right rotation. Yeah, I want to make this thing here. Let's bevel it, and that bevel we can give it another bevel. Let me see. Okay, something like that. Just make this look sci-fi. Just going to extrude. Let me give it a new material. Kind of a plasticky reflective material like this. Nice music, thank you. We want this to also use the clamp stuff. Let me do, instead of age, let's use paperweight. Control E. Let me go to Google and look for panels. Panel texture that we could use. Sci-fi stuff like this can help with the detail. Let me see if this would work. So if I 8 views, this is awesome. Yeah, nowadays things are, yeah, we're getting a lot of people in here. Okay, then we can create the legs. Just find a way to make things look sci-fi. I don't know, maybe bring in this image. Can do smart projection. Can just use this to vary the color a bit. In some areas, so we can not sure why this happens. Must be a bug with this node, but in cycles it should be let's try adding a wireframe to this. We need to add some roads. That's a road. That's a road. That's a road. That's a road. Just going to unwrap these, create a new material. Is it live from the UK? No, it's live from East Africa. That's in Uganda. Have you played with? Yeah, I've played with it, but I want to keep things a bit simple here. That's why I'm sticking to only Blender. Let's examine this and see what really makes this image work. Yeah, first things we need is to first make sure that correct whatever we're having here. So let me go back to geometry nodes. Instead of using the particle system for this, let's use geometry nodes because the particle system has an issue with the rotation. So let's do points, meshed points. That should add, no. Can go to points, distribute points on faces, and bring in our tree. We should be in here. This tree. And we can instance on points, and this is going to be our points. We can have this scale down the instance. Now we still have the rotation problem. Let me reduce the number of points, and I should do poison disk. Okay, we need this to be rotated in the right direction. So we can use the rotation of these. Yeah, basically that should work. It's much simpler than I even expected. That we want to randomize the scale, so I'm going to do a combine XY here. Just use a random value. Like that. So the maximum should be there, the minimum should be like that. Now we should expose. We should expose. Let's use randomness here. Yeah, I should expose the density and what else? I think that's it. And maybe add a math node here. Multiply and expose that value as well, and that should be the scale. And now if we go to the modifiers, we can increase the density. If I remove this here, can increase the density or scale things down. So I can just grab all these instances and just do copy modifiers so that they're all using the same. But now we can vary their scale, their density, and I think we can also expose the seed. So each can get a different seed. Yeah. And I think we can now switch. What is this? We can now switch our buildings from using the particle system to the same thing here. Can link this to copy modifiers, but instead of this we can make this yeah, instead of using this we can use the object collection here. Separate children, reset. There, basically you can see what we have. There, now I can just duplicate this to this side and you can see it works. Now we should be able to have some nice buildings on this side as well. Now if we want we can change the seed up a bit. Anyway, Let's see how this looks now. Let me see if I change this from the grass material to a concrete material. Concrete. Can maintain the grass material. I think we need to add a few more things. Yo, thank you for subscribing. Question mark, I'm not sure. Okay, let's do add more stuff basically, because right now the issue is we don't have a lot of stuff in here. So let's try just populating, adding stuff. I don't know. Okay, I think it's starting to, that's starting to shape. We have a volume object here that should help with the volume, with the fog, but I'm going to try something different. I'm going to use a plane instead of volume. Suppose this should make things much faster and easy for us. So let's create a new material. We are going to use let me see how things look in Eevee. Let's set this up in Eevee and see. Okay. We can start with we need two shaders. We need an emission and transparent. Blend the two and get a noise texture. That's the factor. And let me add a color ramp here. Let me first look at the noise. Want some light noise. It doesn't have to be too detailed. Maybe add some roughness. Yeah, something like that. So we are trying to create some fake clouds. Maybe scale this on the Y a bit, but we don't want to have hard edges here, so I'm going to grab a texture, gradient texture, change this to spherical, so that should be a circle, but we want it to be in the middle, so we are going to use object mapping. That should bring the circle in the middle. We can scale it up and maybe squish it a bit like that. Then we can subtract this from the gradient. So Blender 2, use the subtract. Hopefully I was saving that. Good. So we need to scale this up, shrink it a bit, like that. Then blend this. Thank you, Anderson. Do subtract, or we can do color dodge. Is it color ban? Yeah, basically color ban can work. And so that's going to be our cloud. And if we change this to object, if we change this to, object, and maybe have an empty like that and use that as the object. Every time we move this, hello BA Nation, how are you? Glad to see you. It's been a while. Every time we move this, you can see this changes a bit, and we need to reduce on the scale. Like that. So basically that's going to be our cloud, and we're going to have multiple clouds. Thank you, Adam. And we can use, let me make sure that this is set to alpha blend. This has to be flipped around. Yeah, so we have a cloud there. Now let's start placing this. One thing we could do is make sure that this cloud is always facing the camera. So I'm going to add a constraint. Track 2, I think it's a track 2 constraint. Select, let me first pause the render here. Select the camera, and anywhere we move, this is always going to track the camera. So we can, it's always going to look at the camera. So we can have this. Let's get some clouds in different areas. I think we still do need, let me see. Let's play with the color correction a bit here. we still need a lot of trees on this side. So let me just duplicate a bunch of trees. Let's see. I think the trees are super large. Scale them down. Hey Sos, how are you? Glad to see you. Let me try. This shouldn't cast a shadow. Let's see. I think what we are lacking is a focus object. For this scene, it seems to be this thing here, and for this one here, seems to be this. Let me see if I move. I think also, yeah, the angle helps. Another thing we could do is maybe add some shadows, fake shadows. Someone unliked. That's not a problem. It's an expression, and we don't have an issue with people expressing. Anyway, okay, so we have this. We can have, we want to add some shadows. Let's see now. I think it needs fog. Yeah, I think so too. Let's do that. Oh well, can't please everyone. Yeah, you can't please everyone, and so not a big issue. I'm also surprised. How are you even able to see that? Because I remember YouTube removed the dislike. Oh, maybe you can see. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, there's no way you can see the number of dislikes, so I'm not sure. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's go back to this. I want to change this to wireframe. Let me reduce this music. Let's do, yeah, shader principal volume. Yeah, this should be 0.1. Oh, since this is cycle, we can actually, we're not limited to just a cube volume. We can, something I had forgot, create a volume in the shape yeah, maybe let me see if this would work. Can we have a volume in that shape? Yeah, I think we can. Yes. The fog in this one is a bit tricky because it can't go outside the station because that's this is space. I'm also not sure about the materials of these buildings. They look it's like they look unshaded in here. I'm not sure why. Also want to add some diagonal roads. If I can do that. Hey, PSCC, please don't spam. Okay, maybe we can have another tower here. It takes too much. We need some bridges. Those I'm just going to grab just a few lines from here. Just trying to find the easiest way. Shift D, P, that we can have this. Just then push these. So these are going to be our bridges. Now I can duplicate this again. Extrude along faces. So these bridges, this one can be wireframe. So our bridges, and maybe we can even triangulate these like that, and give these ones some thickness, and we can repeat this here for this bridge. Maybe this one is a wider one. And then extrude this, triangulate, wireframe. Add a plane going under the bridge. Yeah, sure, I think we can do that. Actually, we have a few things we can do. Let me first make sure that this, yeah, this style looks, color mix RGB. Let me darken. Could it be? I think it's starting to look, except this bridge is too wide. And they're too long. Yeah, the volumetric fog also is too much. We can have more stars, I think. Do we have a ship? I think I have a ship. Yeah. Can add a ship. At sail. These really need to be super small. You watch my pack rooms. Which pack rooms? I'm forgetting. The scale of these should be randomized. Need more buildings on this side. On trees, buildings. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I think it's coming together. It's not looking bad at all. Thank you, Anderson. This volume needs to be really, really low. Now we just have to play with the clouds positioning. Let me first select them. Can have all the clouds in a clouds collection. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, let me see. Can reposition these clouds. Let me try. A different composition. Nah. Looking good. Glad I could join for so long. Not usually free, so this was a great treat. This was a treat. Be safe all. See you on Discord. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, and thank you for joining. Think I need to correct the rotation of some of these buildings. Do you listen to music while doing work? Yeah, I do. What if the position of the plane clouds were of the curvature of the path? Oh, you mean interesting. Like they should follow the curvature. Yeah, so the way I set up my clouds was, let me first. Let's see. Yeah, I would have to first go back and adjust that actually. And another thing I am realizing is if we need to change from emission to translucent so that the shadows are affected by the light. Now you can see that they're really popping in some areas, and some areas they are quite dark. I think these trees are too large. You want a plane? Do I have a plane? I have a wooden plane. I didn't add that. Yeah, we can add yeah, I'm also going to add these wind turbines. We're in space, but I guess in this one we do have wind. And parts of this mesh can have one thing I think I could do is create some sections of green grass. Yeah, I'm going to call this done. Not sure what else to add. So it's not a really easy project to make. It requires a lot of time. How long have we streamed this? 2 hours. Yeah, I'm okay with 2 hours. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for today. Let me go to my generators and see. Maybe that will be for another day. Maybe let me do one more thing here. I think I'm going to duplicate. Make this. Yeah. Maybe 2. And this one. Okay, that's going to be it. Let's see if I move. Okay, yeah, I'm going to give this a render and see how things look. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's stream. Thank you.